Hi, it's Rachel and I'm here for a cross stitch update. I've not done one for 3 months, but that's better than last time because it was, I think, almost a year. But anyway, I've done a little bit of stitching. There's not so much to share. In fact, I've done a lot of stitching, but on the same project, so there's not that much to share, I don't think. But I was at a point where I was ready to move my current project on the Q-Snap, so I thought that was a good time to film. So, okay, I'll show you the ones I've been working on. So the first one is this Dimensions one that I showed last time. It's a kit. It does have a name. Last time I said it's not got a name. It's not written on the packet, but on the inside it's called Cocoa Snowman, I think, something like that. I'd started one of them. It was about 3/4 done, but no back stitch. So the stitching was 3/4 done. I finished that one and finished a second one as well. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen these. They're super cute. I really like how they came out. There's a couple of disappointments with Design Works kits for me. For this one and the other one that I'm going to come on to, and they're the only two that I've stitched. Yeah, this one here, you can see them, you see those little pom-poms? Well, there should be 6 little pom-poms because they've all got a pom-pom on the hat. And I only got 4, there's 3 then, there's one at the back. So there was only 4, which I was like, okay, well I can go and buy some. It's not too much of an inconvenience. You can pick them up fairly cheap on eBay, it's just that I probably wouldn't get that exact colour. I don't know anywhere local that I could go and view them to see what colour they are. So I might just buy some white ones and kind of figure out what size they are. So there was that. The second thing is there is nowhere near enough of the back stitching thread. So I know it looks black there, but it's a really dark brown colour. And there's probably enough for 3/4 of the next ornament, and that's it. And that's really disappointing because I didn't have to frog any, I didn't waste any, I didn't lose any. There's just not enough. And I'd heard on another kit, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, the frog pile kit that you saw last time. I'd posted sort of midway progress on that, and somebody had commented that they didn't have enough thread in that. And the thread that they didn't have was an orange colour that was used in the frog's eyes. I'm going to show you that project now. Now I had enough of that one, but the back stitching thread again didn't have enough of, and luckily for this one it's just black, so I could just substitute 310 DMC. But that dark brown colour on the Snowman, there's no exact match, so that's 2 out of 2 kits haven't had the right amount of thread, so it's a little disappointing. The thread quality isn't that great to begin with, but they are cheaper kits. Anyway, this one that you saw last time is a finish. So I am really pleased with how it came out. Love the bright colours. I even remember to put my name and the year on it, which I never ever do. Haven't got it framed yet, but yeah, I really like it. So that was where obviously a lot of my time went on over the last couple of months. It took in total exactly 4 weeks, 28 days, but that was 28 days of quite intensive stitching on the days that I was stitching it, so quite a good number of hours. And I only have one more thing to share, so it's kind of a short update really, but this is the one that I've been working on. I thought this was my oldest whip, so that's why I picked it up. But it turns out it's not. The Dimensions 12 Days of Christmas is actually my oldest one, which I haven't touched, but we'll get there eventually. So this one, it's not finished yet, but last time you saw it, I'd done the top row, and I'd done the honeysuckle there, where are we? I've done that, and I've done the head of this rose and the top leaves, I think. But since then I've done the other rose. I can never work out which way it is to tilt this properly. Yeah, I've done the other rose. There's more leaves on there. I've done the watering can. Let me try and bring this in a bit. The watering can on that side. These little rosebuds and the leaves and the word. The little tools with some flowers. And then I've brought the border right down to the bottom. And on the other side, I've done the little bee, more tools, and I've just started. There's a foxglove with a butterfly, which I'm on with, and then there is some more things along the bottom there. But I think I can get this one done this year, hopefully. Love this piece, really, really love this piece. It's turned out really, really well. It's a bit of a challenging piece to stitch, I will say that, because of the back stitch, and I say that as somebody who normally likes back stitch, not somebody who hates it. And I know there's a lot of people who really don't like back stitch at all, but I do enjoy back stitch because I love the detail it gives. But the back stitch on this pattern contains a huge amount of fractionals everywhere. So you're always counting sort of 1.5 stitches over and 2.5 stitches across, and it's okay if you've got, like on this honeysuckle for example, obviously there's stitching underneath it, there's crosses underneath the back stitch, so you can kind of count over your stitches and see where your thread needs to go down and up because of the colour changes. But these little leaves here and the rosebuds, you kind of on a blank piece of fabric, there's no crosses underneath it, and it is really challenging to find the right place. In fact, on the pattern, which is here, yeah, I noticed on the pattern there's quite a few mistakes on here compared to the chart, and now I know why. So if you look at the leaves on here, they're almost touching the word roses, where the S is on roses, and mine is correct, and you can see there's quite a gap there between the word roses and the leaves. So that doesn't mean I didn't pull mine out at least once because it was in the wrong place, but it was just really difficult to, I would say difficult, challenging to see. I guess if you've got younger eyes and they can focus on on the holes for a longer period of time, it wouldn't be as bad. But I noticed like there's a few mistakes in this. There's a word missing completely from the top. It says the word berries across here, so that isn't on there either. And there you go, it says berries just there. And it's interesting because you don't, like, I picked up this is what I saw and wanted to stitch. I had no idea there were errors in it, and it's fine. It looks absolutely fine. I would never look at this and think, oh, that leaf needs to be lower down, or that needs another word in it. And I think that kind of goes to show that sometimes when you've made a mistake, that nobody else notices it. You notice it, which is why I pull things out, because I like to have it as correct as I can get it. If I've made a huge error, I might fudge it, but if I can see the error and it's easy enough, I'll pull it out. So yeah, that was interesting that the model stitch has got a few errors in, and I didn't notice at all or think anything looked out of place. So that is just about everything. It's 17th of December today. As I say, I want to get the Summer in Bloom one finished hopefully this year. I think I should have it hopefully before Christmas. We've only got a week till Christmas now, haven't we? So I'm thinking if I get that one done, then that brings my total finishes to 3, which doesn't sound very many, but they're all fairly big pieces, and you know they're quite intense. They've all got loads of backstitch. This one that I've just talked about being the most challenging with backstitch. The Sweet Bears one, I think that's about 350, 400 stitches long. It might even be longer than that. It's huge. So they're pretty substantial pieces that I've got done. It's one more than last year. I only did 2 last year, which was my Robin and my Geisha. So that's good. And I think if I can get the Summer in Bloom done fairly fast, I might try and get a small Christmassy piece done. I've got a couple of pieces. I've got a couple of Luca S ones that don't look too big. I think they're about 15 centimetres. What's that, about 6 inches? Yeah, they're about 6 by 8. But there's like there's a lot of background in that isn't stitched. So I might have a go at starting one of those and see how it goes. See if I can get another finish for the year. That would be quite good. That's more about storage space than anything else, because my kits are kind of squished into a magazine rack, and it's bowing out at the edges. It's like a fabric magazine rack. It's kind of bowing out at the edges, and I know it's not affecting the fabric or anything. That doesn't make any difference to fabric, but yeah, it just shows me how many that I've stuffed into there. Then I'll probably come back actually in maybe either the beginning of the year or the end of the year, the last day or the first day, to talk about my plans for next year. At the minute, I don't know, I kind of change my mind on a daily basis, depending on who I've been watching on FlossTube that day, to be honest. Yeah, I keep thinking I'm going to start 5 things and start them all at once, or 10 things, or 1 a month, or I'm going to start nothing. Yeah, it depends who I've watched as to what I want to do. I do want to improve on my finishes. I want to get more stitching time in, if that's possible. And yeah, I just, nothing's set in stone. That's all I can say. Just get more done. And oh, the thing that I do want to do, I did stitch from stash this year, although I didn't actually actively do anything in the group. And I only, for the whole year, which I didn't think this was bad, I bought linen, a piece of linen for a specific project, which was my Modulin Bastin one. That actually came with linen, but it was warped, and I don't mean it was just like cut on an angle. The actual, I never know which is warp and weft, but you know it should be kind of like that, vertical and horizontal. Well, one of them was on a diagonal, so the whole piece was useless. I couldn't do anything with it. So I bought 1 piece of linen, which is in use. I bought some threads for kitting up an anchor chart, which I've not started yet, but I might start in spring. And I bought 2 kits and 2 digital patterns, which I don't think is bad for the whole year. I think that's pretty good. But what I want to do next year, and I keep telling myself I'm going to do this and then I don't, is I'm not allowed to buy anything unless I've finished 5 things. So for every 5 kits or every 5 projects of whatever description that I finish, I can either buy another kit or kit up a pattern, or buy a pattern and kit it up, whichever I want to do. So that's going to work in theory until you see something that's on sale, right? And then you really want it. But no, I'm going to try really hard, because I'm not going to get through all the things that I have, and I want to do that. So that is the plan. What I'm going to start in the new year, I don't know. I want to do New Year, New Start again because I like that. Just, you know, first day of the year, start something new. I don't know why, but I'm not the only one that does it. I think I know what I'm going to do for that, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say right now because I'll probably change my mind 100 times by then, but we'll see. And yeah, that's probably about it. I can't be any more specific on next year's plans, but I think on my next video I'll show you my New Year, New Start. Hopefully I'll have at least one more finish, and I'll talk about my plans for the year, maybe get a few projects out and share what I'm thinking on that day, which of course can change the day after, but doesn't it for everyone? Okay, that is everything. Hope you enjoyed the update. Hope you enjoyed my projects. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or any of those things, you can find it in the video description, although I do post most things to Instagram rather than Facebook. I am starting to do that and get better though, so yeah, it's your choice, whichever platform you use. Okay, bye for now.